I stopped myself from attempting suicide last night. I was going to leave the car running in the garage while the garage door was closed, but I stopped myself and put the car keys down. It wasn't out of fear. I'm honestly not sure what stopped me, but I'm still here today. That's the confession. The rest of this post is me just venting. I have been struggling with severe depression for years as a result of self-esteem issues. Ever since I was 16 I have been struggling with hair loss. Initially it was because of anorexia, but once I recovered from that my hair didn't improve that much. It remained thin. My dumbass always thought it was permanent from my eating disorder. I always kept it buzzed, so when it started getting worse I didn't notice until it was really bad. I saw a dermatologist at age 21 and found out I had MPB, so I started Propecia and Rogaine, which has stopped it from getting worse, but it is still really thin. I know it's petty, vain, and so many people have far worse issues they struggle with, but this devastates me. If I'm being honest, I think it has mostly to do with me letting it get in the way of pursuing relationships. Aside from the hair, I'm a pretty good-looking guy. I get a lot of attention from girls, but I never ask them out or even ask them for their number because when I interact with them I'm always wearing hats. They have no reason to suspect a guy my age probably has hair like the dad. I don't pursue them because eventually they'll see me without a hat, and that terrifies me. I know what I looked like when I had a full head of hair and I have an ideal image of myself. I take care of myself, eat right, and pursue natural bodybuilding, but more as a recreational activity, not competitively. For me to be the ideal version of myself, I feel I need a hair transplant. I doubt I'll be able to afford that for 3 or more years and I'm tired of hiding and feeling the way I do. People will say, just shave it, or get a wig, but I just couldn't live with that. My depression is always at its worst when I start crushing on a girl because I know I won't be brave enough to do anything about it and I'll continue feeling this way until I get a transplant. I know it's pathetic and I'm tired of putting my life on hold because of it, but that's how I feel. There's an amazing girl I really like, but I just can't bring myself to go after her. Well, if you made it this far, thanks for reading. Just getting my thoughts helps a little bit. I hope all is well with you. I bought a car. I'm 40 years old and I've never owned a car that was newer than 10 years old. I've always struggled with money and ended up buying a crap car for a small amount of cash or an older model with high mileage at a buy here pay here lot. When my oldest was born I decided I was done struggling and I went back to school. I got my bachelor's last year and recently accepted a new position making double what I made when I started back to school. Today I bought a 2019 vehicle. My hands shook so bad signing the papers and I almost had a full-on panic attack, but I did it. I can afford a 2-year-old car. I didn't have anyone to tell, but I'm proud of me, so I thought I would share. I found out why my nephew has no friends. My nephew is 11, almost 12, and went from having a social life to being a loner. I thought maybe he was fine with having school friends, but he doesn't even have that. I found out from one of his teachers who always sees him in the library during lunch instead of with other kids. His parents are not in the picture, thank God, and generally he seemed fine with it. I've been raising him since he was 5, so he does see me as his dad and calls me Pops. His mother isn't interested or capable of being a mother. My brother, his dad is in prison. Apparently he and one of his friends got into an argument. His friend said something to the effect of, "At least my parents aren't losers." That cut so deep into my son that he cut all of his social ties. It took months to figure out why he has no friends. I wouldn't have thought it had to do with his bio parents because no one has ever spoke about it. He'll be going to a different school next year though. I broke up with my girlfriend because she had her abortion behind my back. Now I already know I will receive hate and insults for this, and that's fine, say whatever you want, I probably deserve it. This was about 2 years ago and I will keep it short. Me and my girlfriend, let's call her Jane, were very happy and were looking to move in together after 8 months of dating. But then Jane started acting strange for a while, then she stopped and went back to normal. One day one of her friends came to me and told me Jane had gotten pregnant and had an abortion, and she said I deserved to know. Now I was shocked, firstly because we always used protection, and secondly that she wouldn't even tell me. Now I know it's said that men don't deserve a say, that their thoughts and opinions do not matter on this subject and if brought up should be ignored. But all the same I was upset that she didn't even tell me, so I confronted her and she confessed to everything, admitting that she wasn't ready and she felt that I would have been against it. Here's the thing, I realized that I had no say, so I wouldn't have even wasted my breath talking whether to kill a clump of cells or not, but what hurt me is that if she would do something like this behind my back, what else would she do? I just couldn't trust her anymore, so I broke things off. Jane was upset, crying, begging me to reconsider, but once I lost my trust in her, there was no going back. Now that's my confession. I really wanted to get that off my chest, to say it, because I've never told anyone the real reason why me and Jane broke up. Oh, and for those who wish to insult and wish ill on me, that is fine, I probably do deserve it, but let me give you some updates. Jane is doing fine, working and whatnot. I still talk to one of our mutual friends, but he says she hasn't been in a relationship since me. As for me, well, I'm married now with a stable job, a house, and a newborn baby girl. I hope you enjoy watching. Comment down below if you want to improve the video more. Suggest a free text-to-speech software for me, smiley face.